Happy Chinese New Year, everybody! 恭喜发财! Today, I thought I'd bring you a review not in sequence, but jump to Series 5. Why? Because this is the year of the snake. You probably know that the Chinese zodiac relates one animal to a year in a 12-year cycle. So you have the rat, the ox, the tiger, rabbit, the dragon, that was last year, the snake this year, and then it goes horse, goat, monkey, rooster, dog, and pig. And this being the year of the snake, I just couldn't resist reviewing this dragon ahead of time, because you'll see why. This is not just the year of the snake, but specifically it's the year of the water snake. In Chinese Wuxing theory, we believe the universe consists of the 5 basic elements of metal, water, wood, fire, and earth, which can be applied to everything else. Colors, seasons, years, and yes, in combination with the animals in the zodiac. So we have a lunar calendar with a 60-year cycle, and we will not see another year of the water snake for 60 years. So you can understand why this dragon was just begging to be reviewed right now. This, my friends, is more a sea serpent than a dragon. And I'm really excited by what McFarlane's done with this. Now, a quick word about the Series 5 dragons. I hope I'm not giving away too much ahead of time, but I want to say that Series 5 for me is the absolute best release from McFarlane. Almost every dragon here is beautifully detailed and very, very impressive. And the way they are packaged, you could almost keep them MISB for display and they will still look great in the box. Case in point, this dragon. Firstly, I think I'm lucky that this one I had, the box is not, the plastic is not yellowed with age. It's very, very clear. Looking at the dragon itself, the form of the dragon, the pose is still very, very nicely displayed. You can make out the colors, the vivid colors, the detail on the wings, even the scales, very, very clearly indeed. As for the base, you'll see what looks like an oceanic scene with some poor helpless souls writhing about in desperation. And this is the kind of package that makes for a very nice MISB because you can appreciate the dragon just as is in the box. And I'm almost tempted to keep her sealed because she displays so well, unlike many of the dragons we've seen so far. Even the way they've designed the backing card, you have the main feature dragon, which is a dragon that you've just bought, on a main section over here with all the other buy them alls by the side. This is as compared to the very, very slack generic box we saw with the Series 2. Every single dragon that you buy, you're just going to get this. So this is one added layer of detail that people like me appreciate. Like I said, it would be a crime not to display these dragons in a full glory, and I can hardly wait to get all of them open. But for now, the Series 5 Water Dragon, aka Water Serpent, will usher in this Chinese New Year. So let's get her open. Here she is out of package, and you've got the base, the dragon herself, and one wing. Let's talk about the base first, because this is one of the more detailed bases that you'll find in the McFarlane Dragon series. It's obviously a shipwreck with all these poor SOL sailors, and then you see the prow of the ship sinking into oblivion. There is very, very nice detail on the ship itself. If you look at the planks over here, the rib, the carving, and ironically, the figurehead is that of a dragon. So I think these are probably sailors. You'll also see details like the foam fringing each ripple, and then the splashes as the waves hit the rock. As usual in the McFarlane Dragon series, the humans are not quite as nicely detailed, but what there is enough to get a job done. So overall, this is a very impressive base. Well, I did not know, I didn't even see that just now. These look like rivets or possibly barnacles. Very nice, very nice. The true star, of course, is the dragon herself. You have to affix the one wing And as famous in the McFarlane Dragon series, the Series 5 Water Dragon is one of those oft complained as having a very hard to fix wing. May I have better luck. Before I did that, I wanted to have a closer look at the detail on the dragon itself. Color, green. Green or blue is the traditional color used in art with sea serpents. And I love the way complementary colors are used here. You see these color spots and mottlings of dark green, and these continue on the underside of the creature all the way down to the tip of the tail. So that's very nice, no shortcuts taken there. The color scheme of the wings is reflected in the, I don't know what it calls, the sail maybe of this creature, or this fin. You see these yellow spots against a light green, and again reflected on this animal. So there's some cohesiveness at least to the design. You see a typical color pattern of sea creatures. I think I might have mentioned this before, where if you looked at the creature from beneath and looking up, it's lighter typically than the creature on top. And the reason is that when you're looking at an animal from below, it's actually outlined against the brightness of the sky. And likewise, if you look down at the creature, it would probably be hard to see if it was dark against the murky depths of the water below. So again, very nice nod to reality here. In contrast, you have these four very crimson reds here. Now, these don't look to be just markings, but actually some sort of fleshy bulb-like structures. So they might have been functional as well as just for display, whether for threat or for attraction purposes. But it's nice. It's nice. It makes for a very, very nice emphasis of the very fearsome aspect of this creature. Imagine this monster towering and looking down at you 50 feet from above as you're struggling trying to stay afloat. Articulation is really at two main points. You have one in the neck. Here, you have one in the neck. So you can create a very, very coiled, tense posture. Of course, with the usual problem of color discontinuity where the joints meet. You have another swivel joint behind the neck. And luckily, because of the way the two segments are colored, you don't get too obvious color discontinuity there. Again, that makes for many, many interesting positions you could have with this dragon. The body is streamlined as you'd expect of a sea creature that needs to swim, and it's really fantastic what they've done with the scales. Here, have a look. Now, these scales look very much like snake scales. You also have scales of varying sizes, varying shapes for different parts of the body, and that's no different from the sort of detailing you've come to expect from from the other McFarlane dragons. So very nice. The overall effect is to keep this creature sleek and streamlined without too many protuberances that would affect swim speed. The animal is also finished in a shiny coat. Now this gives it a sheen as if it was still wet, or perhaps it's the same sort of slimy glycoprotein mucus that coats many fish, or a combination of the two. Again, detail reflective of real life, as I've repeated ad nauseum. Now I'm going to fix the wing, and you can see that there are really whoa, I can't find it. Oh, there we are. You can find that there are 3 pegs of different shapes that are going to go in here. So I'm going to cross my fingers and hope it works out. Oh. Okay. Well, at last, the wing is in, and here's the assembled product. This is a very nice dragon indeed. Or I should say serpent, with the idea being that this is a dragon that has evolved and adapted to a completely seafaring existence. But there are still vestiges that betray its ancestry, most notably these wings. But like with all the dragons, the different structures make sense. For example, you'll see that for these wings there is a lot of tethering along the edges of the wing membranes. You see some holes. So these are not perfectly formed wings, and of course you'd expect that, wouldn't you? Because living as it does in the rough seas, you'd expect some wear and tear in what should be very delicate structures. Now, I don't really know what these wings could be used for. Maybe it could still fly given its size, but it probably doesn't look like it could be used for swimming at all. Maybe it's used for a sort of sail. Certainly these tethered edges, these holes remind me of some of the sails that I've seen. And it's interesting because you really wouldn't expect wings on what seems to be otherwise a fully adapted animal. Now, interesting are these finger projections here. These are not analogous to the fingers on a typical hand, because you find one of them on a forearm bone and another one coming off the humerus, and you have no analog for that in any other animal. These are probably used to latch on to rock or to unfortunate ships. Now, I like this creature a lot. It's very impressive. It's got a very nice base. It makes for a very nice diorama. But there are a couple of minor gripes. First, fixing the wing was not easy. It required a bit of force, and even then it's not very secure. So I probably will have to do some shaving later on for a better fit. Second, fixing her to the base was difficult too, because the pegs on the animal don't align with the holes in the base. Now, it really would have killed them to have greater quality control, because the hassle does sour the experience a little. Nonetheless, this is yet another dragon with such an impressive sculpt that I'm sure we can forgive McFarlane for what are in comparison minor niggles. So that's it for the Series 5 Water Dragon. Thanks for watching, and once again, Happy Year of the Snake.